Hello, Serge here from the back porch. I had another lesson recently with a first-time student, and he came up, and in my intro to him, or my questioning him as to what's going on and everything else, because I had never seen him before, he told me he was 57 years old, been playing golf almost his entire life. His dad is a golfer, and all the way up till 81 years old was shooting fairly often his age, which is pretty remarkable. Shoot 81 when you're 81 years old. But unfortunately, he found out about me because his dad ended up having a stroke, and when he's getting through rehab and he was able to start moving again, he was trying to hopefully find something that in a golf swing that could help his dad play golf again, because he had quite limited movement with the stroke and didn't have much strength because in certain places, so he wanted to do it. And he found a Serge swing, and he bought all our videos, sent them to his dad, and with that he started doing it himself. But I guess I'll happily report that his dad is now 85 years old, still playing golf, and is starting to break 90 regularly, so he's getting really close to getting to shooting his age again at 85. So that's a great story. But getting back to the student, his name's Randy. He said to me, I said, okay, well, what do you think is the issues? He said, well, I'm a 7 handicap right now. He said, I'm hitting a lot of good shots, and he says, but I'm flaring a lot of them out to the right. He's a right-hander, and he says, I think my biggest problem is that I'm caught between my old swing and the Serge swing. And he said, I think that's causing a big problem. So I said, okay, let's take a look. So he steps up and starts hitting some balls, and I'm looking at him. I'm checking him from the face on. Grip was good. Ball position was good. Takeaway looked good from that position. I came back here, and he's as soon as I get behind him, he's taking the club away nicely, lifting it nicely, beautiful 3/4, and firm at the top, and making a good transition right to a finish. I'm saying to myself, woo, I mean, for first-time swinger, boy, this guy's looking good. But what do you think I saw from the back? Bad alignment. He was aiming, again, he had a wedge here we're talking about. He was aiming at least 30 yards right with the pitching wedge. And so I didn't say much, and he's every time, and predominantly he hit pretty good golf shots. Most of them were blocks and any occasional pull. And he said, he also told me that having read a lot of my information, he knew that I like thin divots. I like you to tear the grass out of the ground. And he said he really almost never touched the grass, but he had a tendency to be a little hit too many thin shots. But he didn't take divots, and so he was proud of that. And I said, well, that's great, because we know that that's not the best way to swing, and we want to shave those divots. We want to nip the ball off the ground, pinch it off the ground, and it has the best way to get through it, the least amount of tension and stress on your muscles. And so he's doing all that, and yes, he was hitting a lot of thin divots. They had thin shots. So you could hear a little bit of clanking on the club and everything else. And so I took him up to a 7-iron, farther right. Took him up to a 5-iron, farther right. Took it up to a fairway hybrids, farther right. Then when he got to his driver, he's aiming out there in the right field bleachers almost, and just hitting great drives that's going out there. But when he got to the driver, that was the only club that he actually started to have a big draw. All the other ones he just relatively hit straight or he pulled them. But when he got to basically his hybrid started to draw a little, but his driver had a big sweeping hook. I mean, he hit a driver that aimed 40 yards or more to the right that actually had a slight pull to it. It started a little left of where he was aiming, but it drew way past the target. So he was really hitting some pretty big sweepers. And as you know, anybody that's ever seen sweeping hooks, they hit the ball, they hit the ground and run, and they normally run into trouble. And so the driver was the issue. So finally, afterwards, all of that, I said, okay, tee up one more. He teed up that driver, and I said, all right, stop. Put the club down by your toes. I said, come back here and check it out. And he just about fainted on me. He just couldn't believe it. I said, that's your whole problem. I said, your swing is beautiful. You're as good a 3/4 swinger, Serge swinger as I've ever seen in the first lesson, especially one that says he thought he was caught between his old swing and a Serge swing. I said, you got it. I mean, he was, just really good. So finally I got him turned around. First drive, when he aimed properly, was just a bullet at the target, just a bullet. And then so he hit a few more, and every now and then I say, up, drop the club, come and check it, and he's out to the right, and he brings it back, boom. and that big sweeping hook ended up being bullets and dead solid. And then when I took him back down to the irons and started working with the irons, he was still shaving them, but all of a sudden now he starts hitting them more in the sweet spot. You can tell by the sound. He's moved up another line or two on the grooves. So because it was pulling the club was pulling out of the shot a little bit, having to pull it because he's aiming right, and so now he could just stay in there and just swing to impact and let his arms totally release because he was in line to swing straight down at the target. His ball contact went from, you know, right at the bottom of the club in the first two lines up to about where it's supposed to be, and it moved in from the toe. He was hitting a lot of them more towards the toe, thin in towards the toe. Now he's in the center of the club, in the sweet spot here, and higher on the face, getting a better launch and hitting the ball farther. So again, I keep bringing it up because that's what I keep seeing, and if I keep seeing it, there's a good chance that many of you are doing the same thing. So please, you know the Surgism, 90 to 95% of all swing shots problems arise out of alignment. So alignment, alignment, alignment. Don't play golf without it. And again, I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna beg y'all, when you hit shots, if you hit a good one to the wrong place and you haven't lost your finish, roll your feet back and place your club down by your toes correctly. They're touching the toes. Just don't drop it, because if the club bounced an inch or one way or the other, 1 inch flares out to about 10 yards every 100 yards. Carefully put it down, come back here and check out your alignment. And you're going to find that in many, many cases, a lot of times the shot that you hit pretty good to a wrong place that you're thinking you moved on it, blocked it, pushed it, whatever, was a great shot to the right place. The right place in terms of what your physical alignment proved, not your mental alignment. And so that's the key. Check yourself out. Please drop the club, check it out, and you're going to find out that hitting good shots that you dismiss as a bad shot because you feel like you blocked it or pushed it was in fact a good shot. The shot you wanted to remember, the feelings and the senses of that, to set up and swing a good one. Dismissing good shots as bad is not the best way to learn and to get consistent. So check your alignment. Please, I beg you, check your alignment. Well, that's it for the search for today, talking about alignment and how so many good shots are dismissed as poor and so many bad shots end up because of alignment. Well, that's it for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.